Alright guys, how's it going today on Rub Wars? We're going to be injecting some pork spare ribs. And we're going to see how it does against the non-injected spare ribs. So I'm going to be injecting them with apple juice, kosher salt, sugar, Worcestershire, and salt. So we're going to give them a quick trim here. Kind of taking off the trying to get rid of that flap. Doesn't cook well. Tried this new spice on this cook today. It's really good. Been really happy with it. He's a local guy. Colonel Stan Secret Spice, gluten free. Alright, so you can see we got them all trimmed up here. I'll pull the membrane off now. If you've never cooked ribs before and you've never pulled the membrane off, it's really worth the work. It can be kind of tricky your first few times. Using a paper towel really helps grab it. I'm going to show you here in a minute how tough this membrane is. So you can kind of see there, I'm getting ready, I'm going to try to rip it apart, and I can't. So that is just not going to cook well at all. So that's probably one of the big levers you can pull for making ribs is getting that membrane off. Stops the seasoning from getting into the meat, and it's just not going to chew well. So here we go. I'm going to inject the ribs. I'm just going in between the bones. I'm going to do both sides of the rib. You can really see the rib plump up from the liquid. And the injection I made, it's 3/4 cup apple juice, 1/4 cup water, 1/4 cup sugar, 1/4 cup salt, and I did about 3 or 4 tablespoons of Worcestershire sauce. Now you could probably cut that in half for 2 slabs of ribs because I had quite a bit left over. Alright, so you can see this is that rub I was telling you about, Colonel Stan's. It's the first time I ever used it. It was really good. I was really happy with it. So we're getting ready to season her up. Get it on the smoker. Alright, getting ready to put her on the Traeger. Got the Traeger preheated to about 220. The injected ribs have the toothpicks in them. Gonna be smoking with that Pit Boss fruit wood blend. I really like that. I would say it's probably my favorite pellets right now. So here's the ribs at 8 hours. Was it 8 hours? It was, no, it was 7 hours. 7 hours they were done. So they actually got a pretty good color on them. You can't really tell once they're in the house. The lighting's not that great. I'm testing them with a toothpick. If you use a toothpick, you can just you can really tell it slides in like basically melted butter. Very little resistance. You can do the bin test or whatever. I like the toothpick test. It's just easier because I've run into some issues with the bin test. If it's overcooked, it's just gonna fall apart all over your smoker. So here they are. You can see how the color is a lot darker now in the house, but it doesn't matter for our purposes here. I don't know why I always try to cut the ribs with the ribs up instead of down. I hate it when I shred them. If you cook them upside down enough times, or cut them upside down enough times, you'll know what I'm talking about. All right, you can see here. This is the uninjected rib. It's got some pretty good moisture to it, not bad. I'm gonna cut another piece, so you can, better rib here. There you go. There's a good rib right there. That's like I said, not injected. It's got plenty of moisture. It's got a pretty good smoke ring. So it's a good looking rib there. Alright, here's the injected rib. Seemed like the bone pulled back. Meat pulled back a lot farther on the bone on the injected. Not sure if it's running hotter on that side or what. I'll have to check that out. Alright. Now I can definitely tell a difference in the texture of the meat right here. There's no doubt about it. It's got a different feel to it, and it cut differently. I could just tell by cutting it. Definitely cut smoother, I would say, or less resistance. Probably a good choice of words there. So on this piece here, in this rib, you can really see, hopefully, it's got a lot of juice. It's pouring out of it. Tons of moisture. The smoke ring seems to be about the same as the uninjected rib. And I don't know if I would have let them rest longer, if that would have affected it. So you can see there, just meat is super tender. All right, there's my first bite of the non-injected. So you can kind of see it's got a real good bite there. It's got a real good texture, good flavor. It's pretty good. All right, so there is my first bite of the injected. And I can tell right away the meat has definitely a different texture. I would say it's got a smoother texture, less grainy. I guess if I had to compare it, I would compare the uninjected rib as maybe like a steak texture compared to maybe like a grilled chicken texture. If that makes any sense. It's just a smoother texture. So the winner on this one is going to be the injected rib. The three main reasons for number one, it had a little better flavor. I think that was because of the saltiness of the injection. It kind of just gave it a little bit more flavor than the uninjected. The texture was a close second. Definitely, I like the texture of the rib a lot better than the uninjected rib. And then the moisture content was obviously a lot better. So it was a pretty good experiment. I'm glad I did it. I'm going to do another one just to reconfirm the results, but I think they'll be the same. So I think for me, I'll probably be injecting my ribs from here on out. Didn't use a water pan. And we used the fruit blend, Pit Boss fruit blend wood you can see there. So, alright guys, thanks a lot for watching, and we'll catch you on the next one.